So what are the important components of the automatic identification and data capture system or automatic data capture system? So first one, there will be some information which will be in the form of a code. That code will be scanned or it will be detected by a reading device. The reading device will send that information to a decoder, and the code is going to be decoded, and you will be having a computer or a database into which the information will be updated. So if you see, the common example is a barcode. Whatever the black and white lines are there, that is the encoded data. It will contain some information regarding the product. The laser scanner, what is usually seen, is a reader, or we can call it as a scanner, which will try to understand what exactly is the code. And then you will be having a decoder which will convert the signal received through the reading device into a information which can be updated into the database. So these are the three main components. Now the code is not only a barcode, there are different types of codes available. Basically the code will tell something about the component or some information related to the process, or it may be related to something else from where we want to capture the data. If we are talking about the material handling system, it may be the number of that particular pallet. Depending on how many machines it has entered through, we can update the data telling it has completed so many number of operations, so that and we can send it to the next machine appropriately. So in this way the encoded data can be used. Question is, why we require encoded data? Because any kind of symbols cannot be read by the reading devices. They are having their own limitations based on several factors. If it is a highly dust prone environment, then we cannot use light based devices, we have to use something else. If we want to capture data from a distance, again we cannot use all kinds of systems. So based on the requirement, the encoded data will be in a particular format. The encoded data has to be read through the appropriate means. We will be having a decoder to convert the encoded data into information or a format which can be used by the computer systems or can be updated into the database. So these are the three main components. So what are the different technologies that are used or that can be implemented? First one is optical devices or optical technologies. Basically these use light signals. Usually a barcode system uses the principle of optics or optical technology, because the encoded data is read through the laser and then it is decoded and the information is used. So that is an example of optical. Basically we will be using some kind of light. Other one is magnetic. So here there will be a magnetic strip into which the encoded data is fed, which can be read by the reader. So examples are your ATM cards, where there is a magnetic strip is there in which the information is already present, that will be read by the ATM card reader, and then the ATM machine can process the information. The next one is electromagnetic. Electromagnetic systems use some kind of electromagnetic waves, maybe radio frequency waves, which are going to detect the presence of the RFID chips which are located. So the RFID chips will have some embedded data which will be read. So you will be having a transmitter which is going to send out the signals. The chip will receive the signals and then it is going to transmit the signals again, which will be read by the system, so that we know what exactly the component is present, or the information can be read using the RFID chips. So that is the example of the electromagnet. So where we are seeing this one, these things are being seen in malls, where they are putting the RFID chips in some boxes or in some materials, in some clothes. So if it is not removed, then when the customer is going through the main gate, there will be alarm indicating that the material is moving out. It can also be seen in the smart tags which is being implemented nowadays. So the smart tag will be having a chip that will be read by the electromagnetic waves, and then it will be the information about the automobile will be detected, and suitable processing is going to happen. Next one is a smart card. So the smart card again will be having a microchip into which the information is stored. So nowadays the smart cards technology is used in the ATM cards which are having an inbuilt chip. So this chip will contain the information. When the chip is going near the reader, the information is passed on, it will be decoded, and the further processing is going to take place. Next one is the touch techniques. So here you will be using some kind of touch screens and other things to input the data. So basically touch methods are not completely automated, but the entry process is highly simplified, so which will aid in very quick input of the data. Next one is biometric. So these biometric technologies are mainly used for communicating or getting information from the human being, thereby eliminating the manual recordings of the data. So the biometric can be the thumb impression to detect the person, or it may be the voice commands given for performing certain operations or to execute certain movements of the machine, or maybe to stop a particular process from happening, or loading or unloading into the machine. So any command can be given over or by the voice or by gesture movements. Some data will be captured and it can be further processed. So these are some of the important technologies which are used or which can be used for capturing the data without much of a human being entering the data into the system. So whether the automatic data capture system is error free. So whenever we discussed the manual data capture systems, we told that there will be a significant amount of errors because a human being is entering the data. Now what about the automatic data capture system? So the errors will be significantly lower, but the amount of errors are measured by using two parameters: first read rate, substitution error rate. Now what is this first read rate? So first read rate tells the probability that the encoded information is read or decoded in the first attempt. So usually we see in the supermarket the product we have purchased will be moved or detected by using the laser. Sometimes it will not be detected and maybe the second or third time he is trying to do it. So this may not happen for all the items, it may happen only for a few items in a given shift of that particular operator. So then we'll say that the first read rate is very high. If the same mistake happens for each and every component or each and every product that is being done, then we'll say first read rate is very low, which means whatever the reading device is there, in how many times it is able to successfully read the data present and it is decoded and it is being used by the system. That is the first read rate. It should always be as high as possible and close to 100% preferably. So substitution error rate, it gives a probability that the encoded information will not be read correctly. For example, the encoded data has got 8 characters which are to be read, and the substitution error rate is say 1 character is going to be misread, which means one letter will be read as something else. If we take the example, say for example measure is what has to be read, MEASURE. So instead of reading it as MEASURE, if the error rate is 1, then definitely it is going to read one of the characters wrongly. So instead of MEA, it may read as MEBSURE, or it may read MEASVRE. So like that there are going to be errors which can happen. So it depends on the total number of errors will be equal to the substitution error rate multiplied by the number of characters which have to be read in that particular code. So if the error rate is very high, then definitely the number of errors also is going to be very high in each and every reading that is going to happen. So usually the substitution error rate should be as low as possible, so that the total number of errors that can happen will be very low, and the automatic data capture system will function efficiently. Otherwise the data will be read incorrectly, so again it can lead to chain reaction and the entire system may collapse. So first read rate should be very high, substitution error rate should be as low as possible, maybe close to zero is ideally preferred.